Photographing amusement park rides. Photographing Ferris wheels and amusement park rides at night can result in stunning and dynamic images. Here are some tips to help you capture captivating photos. Equipment. Camera. Use a camera that performs well in low light conditions, such as a DSLR or mirrorless camera. These cameras typically have larger sensors, which allow for better light sensitivity. Lens. Choose a wide-angle lens to capture the entire ride or Ferris wheel in the frame. A lens with a wide aperture, low f-number, like f/2.8 or wider will help gather more light. Tripod. A sturdy tripod is essential to keep your camera stable during long exposures, which are common in low-light photography. Find the right location. Look for a vantage point that offers a good view of the Ferris wheel or ride. Consider the angle, foreground, and background elements to create a visually appealing composition. Seek spots that have interesting elements to include in the frame, such as city lights, reflections, or crowds of people. Set up your camera. Use manual mode to have full control over your camera settings. Start by setting your ISO to a low value, for example, ISO 100 or 200, to minimize noise. Set your camera to aperture priority mode, A or OV, and select a wide aperture, low f-number, like f/2.8 or wider to allow more light into the lens. Enable long exposure mode or use the bulb mode for exposures longer than 30 seconds. Set your white balance to auto or adjust it according to the ambient lighting conditions. If your camera has an image stabilization feature, activate it to reduce any blur caused by camera shake. Capture the motion. To convey the sense of movement, use a slower shutter speed. Start with a shutter speed around 1/10 of a second and adjust as needed. Experiment with different shutter speeds to achieve the desired effect. Faster shutter speeds freeze the motion, while slower speeds create motion blur. If the ride or Ferris wheel has colorful lights, longer exposures will create light trails as the lights move. Focus and composition. Use manual focus or switch to autofocus and focus on a point where the ride or Ferris wheel will be during the exposure. Compose your shot carefully. Consider using the rule of thirds, leading lines, or including other elements of interest in the frame to enhance the composition. Test and adjust. Take test shots and review the results on your camera's LCD screen. Adjust your settings as needed to achieve the desired exposure and effect. Bracketing your shots. Taking multiple shots at different exposures can help ensure you capture the scene with optimal brightness and details. Post-processing. Once you have captured your photos, you can enhance them further using photo editing software like Adobe Lightroom or Photoshop. Adjust the exposure, contrast, and colors to fine-tune your images. Remember to check local regulations and guidelines regarding photography at amusement parks, as some locations may have restrictions or require special permission. Enjoy experimenting with different settings and techniques to create unique and captivating night photographs of Ferris wheels and amusement park rides. Experiment with different perspectives. Explore different angles and perspectives to capture unique and creative shots. Consider shooting from below the ride or from a higher vantage point, such as a nearby building or a hill. Capture the atmosphere. Use the surrounding environment to your advantage. Include elements like crowds of people, colorful signs, or other rides to add depth and atmosphere to your photos. Capture details. Don't forget to capture the smaller details of the ride or Ferris wheel. Zoom in and focus on interesting components like the lights, structure, or intricate designs. Utilize reflections. Look for reflective surfaces like water puddles, glass, or shiny pavement that can add a visually appealing element to your composition. Reflections can create a dynamic and artistic touch to your images. Timing is key. Pay attention to the timing of your shots. The best time to capture amusement park rides at night is usually during the blue hour just after sunset when the sky has a deep blue color. This time provides a nice contrast to the colorful lights. Shoot in RAW. Capture your images in RAW format if your camera allows it. RAW files retain more information and provide greater flexibility for post-processing, allowing you to fine-tune the exposure and colors in your images. Experiment with light trails. If the Ferris wheel or ride has moving lights, you can create light trails by using longer exposures. Experiment with shutter speeds between a few seconds to several seconds to capture the movement and trails of light. Pay attention to safety. When photographing amusement park rides, always prioritize your safety and the safety of others. Follow any safety instructions provided by the park and be aware of your surroundings at all times. Be patient. Capturing the perfect shot may require some waiting and experimenting. Be patient, observe the movement of the ride, and time your shots accordingly to capture the desired effect. Remember, photography is an art form, so don't be afraid to experiment, Try new techniques, and develop your own style. Enjoy the process, have fun, and let your creativity guide you in capturing beautiful night images of Ferris wheels and amusement park rides.